Welcome back. Staying with the issues of police reforms, the leadership of the bar has also met with the Speaker of the House of Representatives on the need to collaborate on legislations to address police brutality within 30 days. We have some details from that meeting up next.
The leadership of the Nigerian bar is really worried about the NSAS protest. And as part of seeking solution, the NBA met with the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Here's how the NBA president described the agenda for the meeting.
I am here solely for essentially a one-item agenda, which is, indeed, the plan was to come to the House to visit with you as a collective, the newly elected members of the NBA Executive Committee. However, in the light of the current goings-on in the land, in the light of the upheavals that we are currently witnessing, the end of which no one really can predict, I thought it would be important to come here to solicit, to encourage members of this distinguished body to do more and to ensure that we avert what, as far as the NBA is concerned, is a potential crisis situation. Indeed, that is if we're not already in a crisis situation. So I'm here essentially to have this engagement with Mr. Speaker and the honorable members here to find out how exactly we can deal with this issue decisively. Because those, our compatriots who are out there protesting, do not appear to be relenting, and they are looking for some signal to show that indeed this issue is being addressed.
The Speaker, who is also a legal practitioner, is pleased about this meeting. He believes that it's an opportunity especially to collaborate on some legislations necessary for police reforms.
We discovered on working on this that, wait a minute, Section 2215 of the Constitution actually, in a very interesting way, almost gives immunity to the police, whereas you cannot even review their activities. So we realized that 215 subsection 5, for you to even, for starters, because you cannot reform, for you to reform the police, you have to go to the very root that empowers the police to do what they do. So if you tell me that you cannot be accountable individually as a policeman, and you're covered by law, then there's no reform we can embark on without going to the root of that law, which is the ground norm, which is the Constitution. So we have, it's already, process already started to delete that offensive, but I'm sure it was well intended. Like I said to some people, the road to hell is sometimes paved with good intentions. So we have looked at how we're going to remove that well-intended but now obnoxious provision in the Constitution, so that it is on that we can now arrest every other reform. We've looked at creating an ombudsman to look at complaints from the public that will include representatives of NBA, Human Rights Commission, and other relevant sectors of the society. Part of the resolution was also to call for to ask the IG to furnish us with details of every policeman that has a complaint against him in the last 5 years. So not even now. Every policeman that has anything against him in the last 5 years, and let us know what have you done in terms of dealing with the complaints. I mean, how has he been punished? So we're waiting for that list. We've also asked for, and maybe you'll be able to help us there, the list of all victims that have suffered in the hands of the police, particularly those that have died, with a view to compensating the families.
Legislation around issues of wages, salaries and welfare also came up. Both parties have resolved to work with other human rights organizations and civil society to address the issues of legislation within the next 2 weeks.
And just before we go, here's a recap of some other legal stories we're tracking.
We begin with the report that the non-governmental organization, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, has asked the Federal High Court in Lagos to grant an injunction backing and protecting the EndSARS protesters. SERAP listed President Muhammadu Buhari, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the police as defendants. SERAP wants the court to restrain the president and the other defendants from sending their agents to harass, arrest, detain, or infringe on the fundamental rights of peaceful protesters in the #EndSARS or any other peaceful protest in Nigeria. The suit is yet to be assigned to a judge for hearing. The All Progressives Congress governorship candidate in the last Edo State election, Pastor Sage Ize-Iyamu, has challenged the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court to try him on allegations involving a 700 million naira fraud. Ize-Iyamu was accused of receiving the 700 million naira during the run-up to the 2015 presidential election. He was subsequently arraigned alongside 4 others, including a former deputy governor of Edo State, Lucky Maswen. At the resumption of trial on Thursday, his lawyer told the court that he had filed a motion challenging his jurisdiction on the grounds that the charge was based on election matters. According to him, the appropriate court to try electoral matters was the Magistrate Court or High Court of the state. The court has fixed January the 20th, 2021 for its ruling. In Abuja, the trial of the alleged Taraba State kidnap kingpin, Mr. Hamisu Bala, popularly known as Wadume, resumed at the Federal High Court in Abuja with a cross-examination of the 5th prosecution witness. The witness, an Assistant Superintendent of Police, Mr. Bala James, who earlier testified on July the 15th this year, was cross-examined by some of the defense lawyers at the day's proceedings. The trial judge, Justice Binta Murtala Nyako, has adjourned the case till 22nd of October for the prosecution to present its 6th witness. Mr. Wadume and 6 others are standing trial over alleged kidnapping, escape from custody, gun running, detention of kidnapped victim Usman Garba, and collection of ransom of 106 million naira from the victim before releasing him. In Lagos, a federal high court has fixed November the 18th to rule on a no-case submission filed by a social media celebrity, Ismaila Mustafa, popularly known as Mompha. Mompha is accused of cyber fraud and laundering about 33 billion naira. He had pleaded not guilty, and through his lawyer, Gboyega Oyewole, he filed a no-case submission insisting that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had made no case against him, requiring him to enter a defense. The prosecution counsel, Ibrahim Suleiman, has however asked the court to dismiss the no-case submission application. He told the court that the prosecution had been able to link the defendant to the alleged offences based on the evidence adduced and exhibits tendered through the 10 prosecution witnesses who had testified in the matter. He then asked the court to dismiss the application and ordered the defendant to open his defense. After listening to both submissions, Justice Mohammed Liman adjourned to November the 18th, 2020 for his ruling on the no-case application. And we round off with a report that the Senate has confirmed the nominations of 8 justices of the Court of Appeal as justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The confirmed justices are Justices Helen Ogumiju, Lawal Garba, Adu Aboki, Mohammed Salawa, Adamu Jauro, Samuel Oseji, Tijani Abubakar, and Emmanuel Agim. Their confirmation followed the consideration of a report by the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters. Chairman of the committee, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, stated that the appointment of the nominees was a bold step taken by President Muhammadu Buhari to strengthen the judiciary to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Lawmakers, in their contributions, expressed satisfaction with the qualification, experience, and competence of the nominees.
And here's where we adjourn till next week. Don't forget that you can watch again this episode of the program and past episodes on our YouTube channel. I'm Shola Shieli. Thank you for watching.